Being a van operator in the moving industry is more than just hitting the open road in search of exploring new destinations. In addition to their craftsmanship and skill, van operators must understand and fully comply with complex federal regulations. With an intense focus on operating in the safest manner possible, amidst working with families in their most intimate environment during what can be a stressful time in their lives. Join us as we journey more than 1,400 miles with 48,000 pounds, taking a family of 4 to a new destination. Catch an inside glimpse into the day in the life of a driver as Sudeth and Chris Cartwright take the Drum family from Minneapolis to their new home in Jacksonville, Florida. Sacrificing time with his own family to assist others, Chris lives largely on the road, working tirelessly to run his business on wheels, representing both himself and Sudeth in a professional manner. When this journey ends, another will begin. But as every mile passes, Chris knows that his most precious cargo is the trust that others place in him. Watch as this journey unfolds.
Started going on the road with my dad when I was 8 years old during the summers, and I got my license right away when I was 21. I drove a company truck for 9 months till I could save up to put a down payment on a new truck, and I bought a brand new truck, and I've been an owner-operator since 1996. What helped me the most was getting with a driver that knew his business, which was my dad. My dad, he's the smartest trucker I know, and I call him all the time asking for advice. Still to this day, even though I've been an owner-operator for 17, 18 years, I still call him to this day asking his advice. Well, there's a lot of responsibilities with being an owner-operator. It's almost like you have to have a college degree in order to keep everything straight with the laws of the road, with keeping up with the regulations on the logbooks, and with knowing how to load and unload and handling your helpers, let alone your customers. It's actually a lot to do. I'm a go, go, go. I hate sitting. I can't sit, especially if I'm not at home. That's the only time I can sit is at home, and I still can't sit because 6 kids keeps me busy. The hardest thing is for me not to get a tear in my eye, because that is the hardest part, leaving my 2-year-old. My wife is like, see ya. But what I do, it's worth it. What I can bring home and provide, it's worth it. I think the biggest challenge, if anybody was going to be coming into this business, the biggest challenge is probably being able to load the truck well. That's probably the biggest challenge. It takes time to learn how to load the truck without damaging anything and getting more than 22,000 pounds in a trailer. Okay, well, I start the truck. I turn on all my lights. First I check my brake light with the emergency air brake handle, and that allows me to release my brakes or put my brake on and then get out and check on the trailer and on the back of the tractor. Blinkers, all the lights, check the lights, walk around, kick the tires, look around, make sure there's no hoses rubbing anywhere on the trailer and the tractor. And I pop the hood and I look for make sure the slack adjusters aren't off, and look at my fifth wheel, honk my horns. That's pretty much it. Well, a couple years ago, like 4 years ago, one time it cost me $1,000 to fill up, and that was out west. Now I can fill up for around $700. No, I don't go to California. And with this truck, I can't. It's a 2003, and I think it's 2006 and newer, and they might even be changing that to 2008 and newer for California, being able to go in there with the right emissions on the truck. Right now I don't have the right emissions on there. I can drive 11 hours in a day, and somewhere along the line, anywhere between any time after 2 hours and any time before 8 hours, I have to take a half-hour break, which is, you know, if I drive 8 hours, I need to take a break anyways. So I think that new law is actually, I don't mind it at all. And I can work a total of 14 hours in a day. As soon as I start my log, 14 hours is all I can go. 14 hours later, I'm done, no matter what I was doing. Safety is very important. I don't want anybody on my crew getting hurt. That's the last thing that I would ever want in a move. I take precautions, especially with prepping the house. I think that makes a huge difference, padding up all the railings, the floors, even the walls sometimes. I want to give props to these two guys. Cash Labor, bar none, are the best I've ever seen anywhere in the United States. But these two guys, if there was ever somebody that should go out and train, it would be these two guys right here. Yeah, I have some last words. Get back to work. Quit screwing around. Yeah, there was a lot of weight there. It went well, and mainly because I had a good crew in Minnesota, and it went really well. And it helped that the customer was very organized. It's the number one inventory on the packing inventory. We use it for all the parts and hardware for the beds and tables and anything that gets disassembled. Bookshelf pegs, shelf pegs for china hutches, anything. What makes me proud is the compliments I get, actually not just from customers, but from my helpers. Usually the driver is like, hey, can I get your number? But my helpers usually want to get my number. So when I get back into town, they want me as their driver. Other than that, I think that household movers are better drivers as far as navigating their truck, backing into holes at truck stops. I was at a truck stop on my last trip, and I was searching around. It was late. There was only one spot left, and I was pulling around, and there was one spot left, and there was a flatbed driver trying to blindside, which means backing up like from the right instead of from the left, and he couldn't do it. The other truckers are on the CB. He was trying to do it. He didn't even have any load on or anything. He was empty. He couldn't do it, and so he quit, pulled out of there, and I was right behind him, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do this. And they're like, everybody on the CB was like, well, we're gonna buy this, if he can get in there, we're gonna buy this driver dinner. That's what we're gonna do. Well, with Sudeth, I don't really wait around. I mean, even if they just get me half a load, you know, pay for my fuel and give me a few extra bucks, at least I can get home and be with my family. And that's the number one reason I like being with Sudeth, because they can get me loaded. There's, you know, hardly any downtime. For example, on this trip, I just got here, I'm unloading my trailer, and I start reloading tomorrow. For me personally, that's just awesome. I can tell my wife when I'm coming home, and for me, that's great. I mean, that's the biggest thing I think that I like about Sudeth.